in as well. All right. Welcome tonight or morning or wherever you are calling in from. We always have such an incredible global audience whenever we do all these panels. Tonight is super exciting because one of the things that I really noticed with Healy is just the sheer amount of coaches that we have that join our business. They love our product. They love using our product. They use it within their coaching business. They use it, as to bring in a side income as well. And I see so many breakthroughs with it. I feel like my whole world is surrounded by coaches, but I just see them and how it's really amplified their coaching skills, how it's really helped fast track people in terms of breaking through different bits and pieces that they need to. And it's just an incredible complementary tool to the coaching industry. So tonight we have three absolutely gorgeous, incredible, beautiful coaches on tonight to really just share their experience around using Healy in terms of coaching and using it with their practice and how they really use it as a complement to what they do. So normally I introduce each of them, but last week I thought I did a pretty awful job at it. So I'm going to let them introduce themselves to make sure that we get the credentials right. So we'll go around, Leah, if you want to start, and we'll just go around to introduce some of the community. By the way, you ask me every single time, yes, this is being recorded. Yes, it'll be up in the Evolve with Healy group in about 48 hours. It will also be on YouTube. And yeah. All right, let's kick off.
Awesome.
Leah.
Well, hi, coaches. Hi, coaching family. I'm Leah Lund, and I am a emotional capacity and energy coach. And I'm the creator of One Whole Health and the Spiritual Wealth Creation Method. And I'm so excited to be here because Healy really has become my coaching partner that I never even knew I needed, and the best coaching partner I've ever had. So this is going to be an incredible conversation.
Awesome. Amazing. Can't wait to dive in more. Beautiful Tara Grace. Now, this lady has, she's been tapping into spirituality and wealth well before it was even like cool online to do. So Tara, over to you.
Thank you for being here. Welcome everyone to this powerful, powerful panel of coaches and Healy. Like, wow, what a blessing. What an amazing time. So I have been full-time coaching, speaking, facilitating, consulting, and leading specifically women into deep levels of transformation for 16 years now, meaning I've been paid for it for 16. I've been leading in the space for 20 years. And wow, coaching is, well, here's the thing. Technology and coaching is the fastest growing industries in the world. So let's put that into perspective. Like, this is the positioning to put yourself in the industry, in the categories that are the fastest growing, reaching industries in the world. Technology is one, coaching is next. So if you are here, you are in the right place. You are most definitely in the right place. This is where the future is. And the future is here now. And literally that's what, when I found Healy, or when I manifested Healy, I said, this is ancient technology from the future that's here now. Oh my gosh. And to be able to merge these two worlds is so powerful. I'm always teaching that Healy really does amplify the work that you do. And with coaching is able to touch all the industries just like Healy. Healy has all these different programs, right? Here I am teaching. I'm supposed to introduce myself. I'm so excited about it. It just comes out. It's like a river. I'm like, oh my God. It's so exciting. But I'm really happy to be here. I'm so excited to be able to share. There's so much that's in my heart that just wants to just but yes, technology and coaching is the fastest growing industries in the world. So if you're here, you are definitely in the right place. And to merge these two worlds is going to be so effortless. And I look forward to going deeper into that.
Awesome. Amazing. Thank you, Tara. And I know you love teaching. So like,
wait a minute.
Actually, all coaches love teaching, don't they? That's kind of why they get into what they're doing. They love sharing their wisdom and knowledge. And let's dive in with you, Britta.
Awesome. Thank you everyone for being here, and an honor to share this panel with all three of you. And Yeah, my biggest transformation really started at a young age. When I was 16, I was diagnosed with Hodgkin's lymphoma. And that really got me so interested in the natural space and the healing space and supplements and exercise and not quite spirituality yet. But then fast forward and I entered the beauty industry, and my father had cancer 9 years after I did. And so what I did is I really dedicated my life to his legacy. And what I did is I created CV Skin Labs, which is a skincare brand for all types of sensitive skin. And I kind of started to become a teacher and a coach there, because I was coaching people into living a life free of carcinogens in the home, in personal care products, in food, and in their minds based on what they were thinking. So I had a ball living in New York City, creating that line. I wrote my first book called When Cancer Hits, which was really a labor of love for Dad. And then I turned 40 and I had this sort of my collapse, right? My dark night of the soul, my shift. And when I turned 40, I was guided to sell the company. I divorced after being married for 10 years. I put all my stuff in storage. I grabbed 2 suitcases. I don't know how that happened. And I was guided to go travel the world. So I covered a lot of Europe, Africa, and Middle East in over 18 months. And that's when I was guided to create Detox Your Life, which is now my life coaching company that has been around for 6 years. And I'm predominantly a vision and a purpose coach that really allows you and support you in accessing how to really anchor in internal power, not external power, because that's where you can then, from that place, you can create your most authentic vision. And so I do retreats around the world, group programs. I've done some incredible work with Leah. And yeah, I'll share how Healy came in and how that now has really impacted my clients, my own life, and the business. So
amazing, incredible. Wow. Do we have some incredible people that are in our community? Like, for all of the others that are also sitting on here joining us live right now, like, I just love doing this because, one, getting to meet all these different people that we have and all the expertise that we have and the kind of talent that's just attracted to Healy. I'm always, every single panel, I'm blown away. Like, look at you people, you're just incredible. I keep getting asked on the side here and in private messages on my phone, if you could all state where you're from and the title of your coaching. So we'll go Leah, Tara, Britta.
Okay, well, so I am nomad, truly. Like I've been nomad since 2002 because I've been laptop lifestyle freedom since 2002, and home base is Colorado, and I happen to be there right now. But honestly, I enjoy so much the fact that when you're in coaching, you can really work from wherever you want to be. And when I travel, and I've done 6 continents now. When you travel, I get asked all the time, are you traveling for work? And it's like, no, I'm traveling because of the joy of it. I'm traveling because I want to, and I bring work with. And that's, what I think most of us all love about coaching, but Colorado is technically home.
Awesome. Fellow digital nomad. We should do a digital nomad one as well, because it's such an
awesome.
Nomads.
Yeah. So for me, I definitely would say I'm a global citizen. My home base is here in Orlando, Florida. I just came back from a beautiful trip to Mexico. I'll be joining Taryn in Portugal very soon, just a couple weeks. And we'll continue on the journey. My title is, and my coaching is feminine. I'm a feminine wealth. And I didn't get a chance to say this because I was so excited. I just went straight into, oh my God, coaching and technology. Let's merge. Let's impact the world. Let's go. But I didn't do a good job saying, like, my work in the world is feminine wealth embodiment coaching, and I'm an expert in the frequency and energy of money and leadership in women. So I've been teaching on the frequency of money and using the teachings of frequency and money to shift the vibration of women and embodying their feminine essence, as well as embodying the frequency of abundance, the frequency of wealth, and to lead at a higher frequency, which has ultimately impacted their bottom line, their revenue, their impact, their service in the world, with more ease and grace and joy, creating 6, 7, and even 8-figure revenue. So having Healy is such a gift, because it's allowing me to not have to trade as much time for money, because even though I'm a premium transformational leading expert and I get paid very, very well for what I do in the world, I still in some way have to exchange that. And so this is such a blessing that this gets to be another revenue stream of income for me. So if that's something that you desire, you're in the right place, totally in the right place for that.
Yeah, absolutely. You hear all the time, sorry, I'll let you go, but you hear all the time coaches saying, I'm still trading time for money. It's really cool when you can be, paid residually and through passive income. Britta, to you.
Yeah, so I am in Miami, and I'm a purpose and vision coach. So I really support, I've helped a couple of people build skincare brands. I've helped people build supplement. I've helped a pro athlete move from being in the pro athlete world into creating a brand and deciding what she's going to do. I work with some high profile people just on creating a new vision, but not from a place of ego or a place of unmet emotional needs, or a place of feeling like you need to do it from what I call a compensation plan. All of us have built, and I don't literally mean a compensation plan that pays us out. We love those. I mean a compensation plan that we built because we were trying to hide some innate flaw, or we didn't quite think we were enough. So a lot of us don't realize we're living our lives from the survival plan, and this great awakening and Healy and incredible people you're attracting in your life are actually here to support you to let that compensation plan crumble, because what's underneath is you. Everything that's falling apart is everything that you're not. You're not falling apart. This is not personal. It's the survival plan. So having said that, yes, that's really what I do. And a lot of my teachings are based on the Course in Miracles, which is what really supported me 6 years ago in my crumbling.
Amazing. Amazing. All right, let's dive in, because I'm pretty sure most coaches want to know why did you align with Healy? So like, Tara, let's go with you. Why did you align with Healy?
Because I thought to myself, if I've been teaching like frequency and alignment to create extraordinary results in my life and women all over the world, you're trying to tell me that I can actually have a biohacking device to put in my hand to amplify that, to accelerate that, to make it even easier for me? Like, this is a biohacking device that is like supporting me in manifestation. When I first received this device, I was healing from a betrayal of a breakup. And I wish this would have came into my life so much sooner. It had not even been released in the United States yet. So I had to wait for when I had to wait. But like, I remember like doing this scan and it saying that, my heart needed to open up again, and that the lowest chakra powered was my heart. And I was still, I was coming to the completion of that. And I just know that, like, when we're able to move grief, when we're able to move anger, when we're able to move these other frequencies that are not supporting our highest joy, and we're able to move them and clear them from our field, and we're able to have more assistance in that, then we are ultimately going to accelerate our manifestation, our healing, our joy, our bliss, our peace. We'll be able to bring back our energetic state of being to a place of of home frequency, right? Where it's like we are in our beingness, where nothing is missing, nothing is broken, where we're divinely perfect, whole, and complete as we are as a soul. And, you know, it was just a no-brainer. I manifested it. I said a wish, a prayer, and it was right when the pandemic hit is when it was released on in the USA here. And I remember saying, I would love to have a product that I can 1,000% energetically get behind, that I could put the full integrity of my name and my name brand behind, that I could feel confident, like sharing with others. And I had no idea that I was calling in this revolutionary technology that was going to revolutionize not only my world, but the world of my clients and the world of my neighbors and the world of the pets that are in my family and my friends and neighbors and colleagues of mine. It has been such a blessing. It was just such a no-brainer. Like this, you know, if you're a coach, then you're committed to transformation. If you're a coach, you're most likely invested in your transformation first, so that you can support others in their transformation. So for me, it was like, of course, I'm going to invest in a biohacking device to bring more wholeness and healing and well-being into my reality, because I know that will ultimately impact everyone that I love, everyone that I serve, everyone that I care for, everyone that's in my reality. And this is a yes. I always teach my clients and students to say yes to the invitations that have the opportunity to increase the quality of your life experience. And Healy is that. It increases the quality of your life experience. And one of the things I teach my clients is I will show you how to upgrade your relationship to life itself. I was saying that before this came into my reality. And now this is a part of that story. So it naturally, and it doesn't matter what industry you're in, whether you're a wellness coach, whether you're a fitness coach, whether you're a hormones coach, like it doesn't matter what category. There's a category for you because there's a frequency for you, for everyone. It's extraordinary. Like, how blessed are we that we get to be here right now to talk about this, to share this, to be here with each other, to be a part of this revolution. I am so grateful and thankful that I have this opportunity to share my gifts of blessing in this way and to be here with all of you. And I mean that. And I hope that all of you feel that, and that you feel the gratitude and appreciation as well for, like, we chose to be here on this time and on this planet to be the wise ones, to be the ones that are able to share these kind of gifts and frequency with humanity, with all of humanity. What a blessing.
Mm-hmm.
It's such a beautiful device because, I mean, you know, I said, I'm surrounded by coaches. I basically have been I'm not a coach myself, but I've been surrounded by coaches my entire life. I seem to attract them like magnets. But the one thing that they will say constantly is Healy really helps me stay in alignment so I'm able to do my job better. Healy really helps me in terms of their personal stuff that's going on so I'm able to serve better. And so just not even as a tool for their work, but a personal tool that enables them to be better in service. I think it's such an incredible device. Britta, why did you really jump into Healy? What about Healy really, you know, got your vibes going high while you were learning about it?
Well, it was a recognition for me. And what I mean by that, it's 2 years prior, I got this download where I had this whole vision of what I was going to be doing. And what I heard is that I was going to help people really get to their most authentic life, which involves some ego death and a dark night of the soul, and the nervous system has to be supported, and there's a disorientation process to get to your most authentic self, and in this ascension process. And so I heard that there was going to be tools and products, and I didn't know if I was going to create another product line, specifically nutraceuticals, cosmeceuticals to support the nervous system. I didn't know, and it didn't matter. That's what I heard in 2018. And when someone shared Healy with me May of 2020 last year. It's like, you know, when you meet somebody and you're like, we know each other, like this feels so comfortable. And it's like I felt an instant comfort with Healy, even though I didn't know much about it. And I think for me, it was the 4 B's. And that's, I have to, or had to at that moment, believe in frequency therapy. So I did my due diligence and I came across the most amazing human. That it's not that I'm saying that because everyone says that he is, it's because I can see, I can feel, we know the truth. You know, our bodies know, we don't have to have explanations. And so my first B of believe was in frequency therapy. Then the second believe that I had to get on board with was the founder and the company. And I just dove in, I watched all of his videos, and my excitement kept on, and my frequency and vibration I didn't even have Healy yet, just kept going up. Back then, it was a 7-week delivery time. So that's how I was doing my due diligence. Then I just thought, yes, we are here in this pause and this awakening when we really didn't know what was going on back then. I knew that multiple streams of income were the way. It's not about trading time for money anymore. It never really was, but society really supported that. So it is about sovereignty over finances, over streams of income. You know, we saw many people's revenue streams dry up during the pandemic. If they had a secondary one, they probably wouldn't have been in that state. And so network marketing, to me, I considered doing my skincare line network marketing back when it launched in 2012. I didn't do it. So I knew about the model, never had been involved in it, but I didn't even have a doubt. And then the fourth thing is I could believe in myself, and that was already there. So when this happened, I had the vision already. I'm like, this is going to be in all of my programs. All of my clients are going to use this. And it wasn't because I wanted them to be in Healy, but because this was a secret. How can I keep this to myself? This is going to help clients access things that I can't. That's going to be able to scan someone and give me information so I can better direct and give them support on those bioenergetic blocks and traumas. And for myself, I just knew that as quite an empathic soul, I feel a lot, I'm HSP. I knew that this was going to really support in balancing my nervous system and bringing me back to neutrality and getting into my human, right? Because a lot of us want to ascend, a lot of us want to be in the 5D, and we want to just be in this place. But if we haven't mastered, grounded in our bodies, we're not able to receive everything that this world is offering us. So, and I've disassociated a lot from my body because of my cancer experience. I felt my body betrayed me, so it's better to be out of it. Healy is in my own way because I in tune, it's an energy treatment. I'm coming back to my body. The capacity has increased for me to be able to risk take in ways I never could before. And because of Healy, Leah and I've created some incredible programs where it wasn't, you have to have a Healy because we want you in this business. It's, you get to have a Healy because you're gonna go that much further from what our teachings can give you. It's all inclusive. So I believe that Healy came into my life so that it's a tool now that it's inclusive in my business, and it has blown the lid in so many different ways. Not to mention, my last thing I'll say for me personally is I ruptured my Achilles tendon playing tennis in October, and I had to have surgery, and I've healed in record time. I'm on my 8th month out. My scar tissue diminished significantly using some programs, and pain was diminished. So, I mean, and I could go on and on and on and on and on, but that's sort of how it all came into my space and into the business.
Amazing. Incredible. Guys, curious for those listening, and if you are listening to the replay as well, you can pop it in the chat too, but pop in the chat. Who else feels like they have increased their capacity when they've had Healy? Increase your capacity to deal with stress, increase your capacity to deal with life, increase your capacity to download, increase your capacity to manifest. Who else would say you've increased your capacity? Because that's one thing that really just hit me when you were talking, Bridget. I was like, it really does. Like, I know personally for me, it has really increased just my capacity to do life and to manage life and for whatever comes at you. So that's, yeah, absolutely incredible. All right, Leah. Now, why Healy from your perspective, and how do you use it in your coaching?
Great. Well, first of all, I'm just like sitting back and listening, and Brita and I have known each other for quite some time. Tara, I'm literally meeting now. And yet it's like a cosmic wink. Every time I meet somebody in the Healy family, it's that cosmic wink that we're such kindred spirits. We have, so many of the same intuitions. We were feeling a certain way about kind of old paradigm way of doing business. And like, there's just so many similarities. It's amazing. So like probably most of the coaches on this call, I feel like Healy was delivered to me, and I feel like it was a knowing, as Brita said, and really an answer to a prayer. Because in the beginning of 2020, so I've been coaching in one capacity or another for over 25 years. I was first in corporate leadership, so it was leadership, business development type coaching, and then in the capacity space, in the energy space, and more the personal growth space. And at the beginning of 2020, I decided I'm not doing anything anymore, no matter what's been successful for me up until this point, unless I hear very clear guidance that I should be doing it. And in addition to that, I started asking even more than I had before and sitting in holy listening about it. Where would you have me serve? Show me. And I went so far as to say, even if it means I completely give up what I'm doing now, like even if there's no more One Whole Health, and I stop all of this and I'm meant to be somewhere else, I want to know and I want to hear that purpose and show me. And so that was beginning of 2020. And as we know, May of 2020, Healy comes to US. And I was just simply thrilled. I knew that this meant, just like Tara, you were saying, all of our zones of genius are amplified by Healy. That's how I think. So for any coaches that might feel a little uncomfortable with, wait a minute, this device almost sounds like it can coach you by itself, right? Like it's such a miracle. And we're even going to have a program coming up, a coaching program. But don't have any, check ego on that, because it really amplifies what our zone of genius is. So even though I had hypnotherapy and I do mindset training and work with other ways of building emotional capacity and CBT and lots of different things, breath work, and Healy came along and really amplified all of that, because I said in the beginning, it's my best ultimate coaching partner for the very reason that it helps me go deeper with clients. And to me, coaching, my perspective is that coaching, rather than, there's training, which we all love to do as well, and then there's coaching. And coaching is more questions than giving an answer. And Healy helps me ask deeper questions, and questions that I may not have even come up with on my own. And ultimately, to me, coaching and my role and what I do is helping my client learn how to align internally. Because when we have internal alignment, we see external results. And almost every breakdown in the external environment, we can track back to some misalignment internally. And so to support clients in that internal alignment of who they are and what they do and what their purpose here is what it's all about for me. And so in preparation for this, I was actually like noting client sessions leading up to today, and day before, is a perfect example. I was coaching a woman who is a coach herself, actually, and she coaches women to find their soul purpose. And she has a big program launch coming up, and she wants to have it be the biggest sellout, launch that she's experienced so far. And just in the beginning of the session, like in the pleasantries, if you will, in the, hey, how are you? What's been going on since, our last call? She mentioned some physical symptoms, well, that's not, like she thought it was hormones and whatever it was. But, that wasn't the main purpose of our call. But I noted that and I said, hey, like, indulge me for a minute and let's grab our Healys, because we both have Healys. And I love partnering my Healy with Louise Hay, good old Louise Hay. You can heal your life. And we looked up her symptoms. And what came out from that was inflexibility, hard-heartedness, and fear. So, we said, okay, let's run the Healy. We did an aura analysis. No surprise, heart chakra came up quite a bit. So, part of her assignment for the week, in addition to the other things that we got to, is to run her heart chakra. And then we did the resonance. And with resonance, it came up. What I like to do with resonance is do all programs first, and then go back and do whatever came up as in resonance, in need for her, go back and do that at a deeper dive. And so mental balance was the one that came up. And then when we did the mental balance resonance, the number one that came up, and I want to read it right off of our description here, was well-being soul. So we're like, what does well-being soul have to do with all of this, right? And the description of well-being soul, and I find for myself, I like to go back to the actual description, because sometimes even just the name, I'll have my own preconceived idea of what that is. But when I looked at it, it says energetic balancing to support you while resisting habitual behaviors. So now my coaching question became, in what area are you resisting or resistant toward habitual behaviors? I would have never asked that question in coaching about her program, or, without this. And I'll just keep it, kind of short here and say it came out to this whole codependent relationship conversation and how she responds to her spouse. And like, we went into a deep piece that is obviously going to affect her internal alignment. But would I ever have asked that question, or would we ever have gone to that conversation in talking about how to be aligned to sell out her program? No, not without Healy. We wouldn't have. Yeah. And that's just one of, everyday experiences now, as I see the nods, this is how Healy amplifies our gift.
Yeah, I mean, it just gets straight to the source, doesn't it? I mean, that's what the beautiful thing about Healy is. And I know there's multiple coaches that I know that now don't even coach people without a Healy. They simply like, I know that this fast tracks my people from here to here so much faster, so much clearer, with so much more ease, that they're like, it's just much easier if we just work with the Healy and we work together using that. So I know many coaches now, it's almost a prerequisite to work with them to also have the Healy too. Yeah.
And Karen, can I add something on the well-being soul? That's one of my favorite programs as well. And for me, the description was around, you read it, Leah, but for me, it's to move away from the awareness of obsession towards finding harmony and fulfillment. So this obsessive loop that clients can get in, right? And I can get in that myself at times too. It's like, oh my gosh, stop thinking about that. Like, no. And there's tools that I have to shift myself, but we too ran the Healy, and we had our session while she ran Wellbeing Soul. 15 minutes into the session, back out of the head into the body. And she completely coached herself to the solution about what she was obsessing about. And so that's really key as a coach, because we don't want people dependent on us as their source, as their wisdom, as their guidance. We are temporary guides until they find that internal power, and they are the empowered ones. They are the powerful ones. That's what I always say myself. I'm just a temporary guide to help you get to that point where you know how powerful you are, and then off you go. Because that you've got an internal guide. And so that's the thing that Healy's also able to support us coaches with our clients, is giving our clients their power back. Because Healy's not the one doing you. It's your internal power that really is working with Healy. So it's not about, I'm going to now give away my power to Healy. It's I'm coming together in partnership with Healy, my intention, my commitment, my goals, and then Healy becomes that. And then it's almost like I used to say before Healy came along, I'm not really the one coaching. I'm just the channel. Spirit comes through me, and then it's the three of us. I always say that when I engage in a relationship. It's spirit, you and I. That's why we go so far. Because people say, does this happen with clients in just 2 sessions? I'm like, well, because it's not us. Because we are co-creating here. And Healy, so now I say it's Healy, you, me, and spirit. And so there's 4 of us. So I just wanted to say that it's important to know that this is a tool to get people to come back home and to start believing in themselves and their own healing abilities.
Beautiful.
We are really the divine intelligence, like our body. And sometimes I'll be asked, like, well, I have to wait until I know everything about frequency before I use my Healy. And because I do brain coaching as well, I'll say, do we know everything about the brain? No, we discover something new about the brain every single day. And the same is true of frequency. And we can be in like Rita's describing, a co-active and co-creative process where I also call it sometimes the translator, like it translates our divine intelligence.
Yeah.
It's also a really great device to be using like in between your coaching sessions with clients, right? So there's always work for them to do, and you're empowering them to do it for themselves, right? Like you're empowering them to do it for themselves. And for me, whenever I do like aura scans, like my clients, they want to do everything that I recommend, because ultimately they see in me what they desire to strengthen and master within themselves. And so I get to share with them all of the practices, all of the tools, now the technology, to be, I always teach my clients, like my intention is to support you in becoming a vibrational masterpiece, because like that's the beauty of my work, is having women become vibrational masterpieces, so that when they powerfully show up in the world, they can magnetize to them all of life based on who they be, not what they do, but based on who they be, who they're being. And this has been such a powerful device to recommend, and they want it. What else? Oh, I'm buying that. This is what you practice. I'm going to practice that, because as coaches, we're trusted leaders, right? These people are coming to us because they desire to be led in the areas that we have mastered, right? So for me, I only coach in the areas that I've mastered. I don't teach or preach in any areas that I have not personally walked through and fully embodied myself, so that I can be in full alignment and in vibration, what I call vibrational integrity and congruence with what I say. And here's the thing, I can always tell when a woman is not in her power, not in her feminine radiance, when she's operating from her brain instead of her heart. And one of the things that my expertise is bringing women back, restoring women back to their feminine radiance, because it's our radiance that really unlocks riches for us. And so as women in the working world, we've been pushing and striving, and we've been taught how to do success from a very hyper masculine perspective, which is not actually sustainable for our body or for our nervous system and how we've been intelligently designed as women. And so what I also believe that this beautiful device does is it gets women back into their hearts and into their bodies, instead of just leading in the brain. We already know you're smart. Like, we're brilliant creatures. We know this. But I teach women how to move from performance-based living to presence-based living, and how our presence is what is so magnetic and attractive and alluring. Our presence is what is felt. Our frequency is what is felt, far louder and far deeper than our words. So when someone's sending me, I love to talk on voice message, because I'm actually tuning into frequency. So I can tell when a woman is not even dropped into her body or dropped into her heart. You know what I mean? Like she's just all in her brain and she's so detached and so disconnected from her true essence. And I believe that this particular device can assist women in restoring themselves back to their feminine radiance, getting used to feeling what it feels like to be in the presence of your own presence, to be in the presence of your radiance, and to get refamiliarized with what that feels like being a woman, and bringing that presence into the work that you do in the world. And coaching requires presence. Coaching requires deep listening, deep intuitive presence, where I'm not just listening to what you're saying, I can feel and sense, and I'm looking for the energy that's behind the words that you say to me. So you could be telling me one thing and I'm intuitively feeling, sensing, and picking up that it's actually something entirely different. And so, yes, this can assist with amplifying that intuition as you're facilitating coaching. And for the client, it can support them and dropping deeper. And for women especially, I feel like this is so important for us to get back into our bodies, because we have been programmed in the thinking of this world that actually disconnects us from our presence. And it brings us back to our radiance and our presence again as women. And that is a beautiful gift that we get to give the world.
Yeah, Healy, I mean, I work with women all the time, surrounded by them. Healy is about 80% women inside of Healy. I don't know a tool that helps women as much as Healy does on all aspects: mental, physical, emotional, their hormones, their belief, all
hormones. I mean, hello to the hormones.
Yes.
Like, yes.
It's just such an incredible. I just think every woman needs to, and of course I know there's men on here, and not to miss you out too. You just really see it so clearly how many women have taken this and have just seemed to blossom and thrive with it. And in saying that, actually, just as you were talking there, Tara, I sometimes get these funny visions about what's going to happen soon. And I think in 2022, we're going to have this awesome island somewhere, and all these incredible women are going to come there and share their experiences and skill share, and just, yeah. Anyway, that's putting that out there. If you'd love to do that, let's say yes now, because that's going to happen.
Yes. Especially since I just came back from Isla de Mujeres, which is the island of women.
Oh yeah, I love that.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, awesome.
It's definitely time to gather the women together, and, you know, coaching and technology and merging the two together in this way, and also combining the business model that Healy has, the compensation plan, is just such a brilliant way to choose to lead your life and your business and your clients and the mission that you're here to serve on this planet. For me, Healy really did align to the ultimate mission and vision of why I'm here on the planet. And that's to awaken and release queens, to liberate women spiritually and financially, so that they can be the full embodiment of the highest vision, version, and vibration of who they're destined to be. Because I know when women are truly embodied in their highest vision, version, and vibration, we will heal the planet.
Yeah.
So if you're a part of this conversation live or on replay, it's because you are one of the chosen ones that have chosen to be here for such a time as this, to be not only a part of this conversation, but to choose to be a leader in this mission and movement. It's our time to rise. It's our time to work together. It's our time to just lead our legacies of love, and do it in feminine grace and in style and in radiance, the way that it was always meant to be.
Oh, amazing.
Yes, I love that. And I just wanted to jump in and add that because these women, we have been called. And first, we have to believe that we have been called, because then when we believe, then that becomes the top purpose and priority. But B is, as we're moving, the currency is becoming our energy. And right now, I don't know if you've heard of the term ascension symptoms, right? We are ascending. a lot of our bodies are taking a hit because there's so much light on the planet right now, and our bodies are so dense. And so Healy, having at your fingertips as a coach, and to balance in between, and also we are being asked to set a deeper and a higher, very integrous level of energetic boundaries like we've never been asked to before. Literally saying, I do not consent to that. I do not consent to that. Literally, we've never been taught. Yeah, we've been taught like, hey, you're in my personal space, or hey, I don't want to go out with you anymore. Please don't call me anymore. But I'm talking about these energetic boundaries of things we used to not really be hyper aware of energy. We don't give everybody access to our energy like we never knew, we didn't know. And the thing is that with the Saturn 2020 astrology, we are being broken open right now, broken open in a way that is really bringing us to taking care of our physical body and our energy in such a pristine way. And that is precisely what Healy is supporting us. It is supporting us in how to attune that energy and train it. You know, I used to use a phrase before. It's like, train your vibration to that of aliveness and joy. Well, that's precisely what this is doing. It's supporting you without you even knowing what it's doing. It's just doing it for you anyway. So in between, and as a coach, because there is a lot of energy, part of my way of setting those boundaries is also running the protection programs when I am during a session or after, not always, but depending on where I'm at. And that is also another thing Healy's doing. It's continuously bringing me back to like, okay, what's going on? How am I feeling? Wow, that took a lot of energy. I never used to check in like that. Never. You just go, 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 because I'm ambitious and I lived from my head a lot. This is teaching me how to listen to my body. Plus, Achilles tendon, other things are teaching me that too. But this is teaching me to come back in going, okay, what's going on? It's 4 o'clock. What's happening? What do we need right now? As opposed to what does the schedule say I need?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. It's such an epic little tool.
I'm so glad, Brita, that you brought that up. Like, really, it's about coach self-care as well, because as coaches, we hold a huge space for so many people. And I love the release program for that. Like, at the end of the day, the release program and the bed rest for down-regulating nervous system, like that is part of my end of day. It's like, okay, now I'm going to discharge everything that, you know, I've been engaged with during the day, so that we can stay pure.
Actually, I'd love
to question in the chat, Taryn. There's a question that in a chat that says, do we get permission from the client before we run a scan? And my answer is always absolutely yes. Any kind of spiritual or transformational work, you're always wanting to make sure that your client has given consent. You know, even with spiritual work, it's like you want to have consent to go into someone's field. And with the Healy is going and it's shifting things in the field. So yes, you definitely want to get consent from the client. So one of the language to ask, just to give you some actual language for your clients is, may I have permission to access your field through the Healy?
Yeah, awesome.
So that yes, you know, you always want that yes, I'm willing, yes, I'm always asking questions like, are you willing to shift this? Are you willing to transform and heal this? Yes. Okay, now we can go deeper, because it's the willingness, it's the yes, it's that surrender. And that's also what is I think the energetic frequency when using the Healy with intention, right? Like, Taryn, please talk about how important like intention is. And when you think about this in terms of coaching, it's like, well, what is the client's intention? What is the intention here? What is it that they wish to create? What is it that they wish to experience for themselves? Well, what is your intention using the Healy as well? What is it that you wish to receive, that you wish to experience? You know, some of the things that I think about and feel into when I'm doing a scan is, you know, my intention is to be, you know, available to the highest frequency, to the deepest level of alignment, you know, whatever that is. Intention is so important, not only in coaching, but how you work with the Healy for yourself as well as with your clients. Yeah.
And I heard just actually 2 days ago about this with intention, Tara. Great point for bringing that up, is that it's kind of like if you're not setting an intention first, it's like you're preparing for a treatment. You can use it while driving and the whole thing, but it's more than that. It's like you drink your water before you set your intention. And what I heard about this, I loved it. I heard it 2 days ago, is it's like getting into a taxi and not letting the taxi driver where you're going. That's the same thing with not setting an intention with Healy. Like I said, Healy's not the one that just shows up and it does all the work and you just rest there. And you're partners. And so setting the intention to Healy and literally closing your eyes and setting the intention and saying the mantra of what you wanted to do is exactly how you really merge and you optimize that. And, you know, from a beautiful friend I don't know if she's here, Kat, but we recorded on the Blue Dot, we did an aura analysis and then we erased everything. And we recorded the sound of a certain frequency that I needed for this time. And then we put in my own present desired state and the actual mantra. And I run that at 5:59 3 times a day. And it's become a ritual. Every morning, drink some water. I say the mantra. And I literally close my eyes for the 6 minutes. I do it after lunch and I do it in the evening. And there's an intention and something that I'm walking through is shifting rapidly. That's okay. There's many things working at play, but think of that. I think it's a great little analogy. It's like getting into the taxi and if you just press it and then just let it be, does it know where it's going, right? We are the ones directing it.
Yeah, it is the number one thing that I think people don't realize, that intention is key of everything, not just Healy, of everything.
Yeah.
But when I was, you know, fortunate to go to the castle and meet a number of the people in Berlin. And when I walked out of there, he just said, you know, if ever Healy is a bit confused, it's because your intention's confused. So getting very, very clear on your intention is the number one thing you need to do when you're coming into any kind of session with Healy. But I also think it's, no matter what you're doing in life, you need to understand what your true intention is around it. Well, you know, we're only down to 4 minutes now, and I know everyone's in here absolutely loving this chat. I'm going to just quickly whip around and find what's your favorite program for yourself. And I know that it can be tricky, but what is also the always go-to program that you have whenever you're with a client? So maybe Leah, if we can go to yours. I know you already mentioned a couple, but maybe add some more of your favorites, ones that you love.
Well, I personally start my day with bioenergetic boost every day for physical reasons, for emotional, mental, spiritual, everything. I also, when coherence was introduced and we were doing the 2-week survey about it, we talked earlier in this about capacity and just how like things drop in and you get things done that you weren't even realizing you were getting done. And I saw such a up level in that myself when coherence was introduced. And in the chat, I've seen like a lot of questions about certain conditions and that kind of thing. And my response to that, first of all, there is a program description PDF that describes, so you can look for certain things, but I'm more times than not come back to the analysis, because I want to know the thing that I'm not thinking about today. You know, I really want to hear from the intelligence of my body, of my aura, of my psyche, what it needs with that intention. So more times than not, I do the analysis. That's what I did before the call.
Amazing. Thank you. Thank you, Tara.
Yes. So if you wish to know a wealth code program that is available with the gold frequencies, it would be being That's in the gold cycle. So when you run being, you're actually bringing your body back to wholeness. And so I'm a wealth embodiment coach. So wealth in its purest form is well-being, and abundance in its purest form is wholeness. So the more wealthy and abundant we desire to be, the actual more whole we have to become on the inside. And some people think that success or like abundance and wealth is always this external gain, but it's actually a very internal game. And when that is aligned and whole, then what we do has this energetic signature and vibration on it. It's what I call what you touch turns to gold. It's what, I feel like God puts a super on our natural when we are in this vibrational alignment and frequency of wholeness and healing. I will also say that I Ching, which is in the resonance program, or I'm not exactly sure how it's being delivered right now based on the shift that we just did with Healy, but the I Ching program is the go-to for when I really want to grab my journal and I'm wanting to listen for wisdom. I want to sit and I just want to like really hear my higher self and spirit, and just maybe I want to take that time to really journal and go deep within. Or if I'm really seeking wisdom for answers, I Ching is a really great program that I've had some really great insights self-actualize as a result of that. And then I can definitely concur with Leah on that release program. Like, how many of you know, like, you just want to release, there's energies that we pick up from the day, from people, from clients, just going out and about, or just the stresses of life or other people's lives, right? Like family or whatever. And it's like, there's times where it's like, ugh. And I know that a go-to release, the release program and the gold cycle is just, it feels so good to let go. When we let go, when we're willing to let go, we create space for more abundance and wholeness and joy to be within our being.
Beautiful. Thank you, Tara. Rita.
So my definite favorite program, because I literally, I can't believe it, but I sleep 9 to 10 hours a night, is with balanced sleep. And I wear it on the bracelets. And for some reason I get up in the middle of the night, I take them off. But every single night, I think I've had 2 nights of not sleeping well. One of them happens to be last night. Isn't that funny? But it's like, I have never gotten such deep sleep. And I think it's this restorative. So and also the programs that help me with my Achilles. I mean, the scars, systemic 20-minute one wrapped around the bracelet around my Achilles, like surgeon was blown away, PT was blown away. For clients, mainly my client is that high achieving woman that is got a big purpose, and there's a lot of sort of warfare around her. So she goes back to her head rather than her heart. So because I prescribe a personal prescription of meditation and releasing, I invite people to use the root chakra to get grounded and then meditate from that place. So that the root chakra is a lot. I use the mental balance a lot if they're feeling rejected, if they're feeling their self-esteem. There's programs for all of this, right? People in obsession, people contentment, people that are kind of dealing with sort of addictive stuff. And I find that the shifts are, people feel it. And then I have to agree with Tara on this. One of the reasons why I love the Course in Miracles so much is because it's something that brings you back to wholeness. There's a way that it activates the truth in you, and then you just know intuitively what to do. I feel the same kind of frequency and vibrations shift within me when I run being. It's like when I run being, I know who I am. I don't need to ask you questions. I'm not second guessing. I'm so in this place of wholeness and interconnected to my higher wisdom. And that's where we eventually all want to be living consistently most of the time, right? And so the being is incredible. So that's, I mean, there's so many more, but, and then coherence is the last thing, but it is that one place when I'm feeling like it's getting too serious, or I'm taking people personally, things are becoming personal. Coherence just kind of allows me to give the world a hug, including myself, and it feels that way. So
beautiful. Thank you for all of you for sharing all of your incredible tips. It's time to wrap up. So people, could you please thank our incredible, beautiful ladies that we've had here today? Maybe in the chat you can thank them for sharing their wisdom and their knowledge and their gifts around Healy and how they're using it with coaching. Wouldn't we agree? Here we have this incredible device that really helps support coaches personally, how it can really support them to amplify their skills, how it actually helps their clients really get incredible breakthroughs, and they can also create income in numerous different ways for it. So what an incredible little tool that we have. I think it is absolutely a coach's best friend and an incredible secret weapon to have in their toolkit for coaching. Thank you all for joining us. By the way, we have another coaching panel tomorrow at 1 p.m. London time. So if you're in that time zone, 1 p.m. London time, we have a whole new set of coaches coming on talking about how they use Healy and coaching. Again, thank you, Leah, Tara, and Britta, so much for your time today and for how you show up on the planet and all the goodness that you give us just by being you. So thank you guys. Thank you so much.
Love you, Taryn. So nice to connect with you ladies as well. Many blessings.
Thank you all. Stay blessed.
Thank you.
Thank you. Love you much.
Thank you. Namaste, everyone.
Thanks for all being on there.
Hey,
I love this
Freddie.
panel.
Thank you for all your divine wisdom.
You're amazing.
Call me Coach Freddie.
Enjoy Portugal, Taryn.
I will. I am.
Gracias a todas. Gracias a todas.
De nada.